What's up, everyone? Thanks for hanging out with me today. My name is Mike Herring. Let's jump into today's video. Alright, let's do one more of those. Alright, and third time's a charm. Everyone with me. As I'm recording this, we're at the end of June. And in just a few days, the new interns start in the hospital as doctors for the first time. And that is a remarkable amount of responsibility and pressure. And if you haven't gone through it yet, you can only imagine the nerves. So before I jump into today's video, I want to say to all of the, as of this recording, almost new interns, and if you're watching it later, all of the now new interns, I want to say to you all, congratulations. That's a long road that you got through. You still got a ways to go, but that's a huge hump. Congratulations. We're happy to have you. And I know your first day when you walk in, or your first week or month or year or decade, you're gonna feel like you don't belong. If you didn't belong, you wouldn't be here. You belong. No matter what it is you're thinking, don't worry about it. Everybody had those thoughts. Everybody. Everybody will continue to have those thoughts. It's okay. Just because now you have a new MD doesn't mean you're expected to know everything. We were all brand new interns at one point or another. We all remember. Some of us remember it better than others. Some of us are closer to it than others. Totally a thing. But I don't want you going in thinking that you don't have support. The senior residents, the fellows, the attendings, the nursing staff, PT, OT, phlebotomy, the CNAs, everybody, we're all here to help you out. So if you have any issue, ask all of us. It's about patient care, it's about learning, and it's about all of us becoming better. Help us, help you learn. Alright, now that that's out of the way, I want to jump into why I actually wanted to make this video. You know, everybody has their phones within arm's reach at all time. Like, all time, right? So I figured, you know, why don't I talk about the apps that I've used very, very frequently to help me get through residency thus far. Now on July 1, 2020, which as of this recording hadn't happened yet, I'm just a few days from that and a few days from being a PGY3. So I am the senior citizen of my internal medicine program. Kind of scary. Not nearly as scary as your first day at work though, I promise. So without further ado, here are the 4 apps that I think everybody in residency should have. Number 1, the OG. What can I say about it? Up to date. You have to have it. I'm sure the vast majority of you have used it in med school. And I'll tell you, your residency program probably has it for you, ready to use. If they don't, you should yell at them. They should get it for you. You really do need to use this on an almost daily basis. You're going to need to look a bunch of stuff up. You did forget a lot of things. We know. We were there once. You forgot a lot. That's okay. You need to know where to find all the information. Up to Date will do that for you. You type in whatever topic you want to look up. It'll give you the symptoms. It'll give you the tests. It'll give you like the labs and the imaging. It'll give you treatment options. Gives you summary recommendations. And if there's something in there that you don't know, you can go look that up in Up to Date too. And I suggest you do it. So much about residency is development as a physician and not just patient care. Of course, patient care is the most important, like don't kill people, but you gotta learn too. That's the whole point of residency. If there was no residency, they just said, okay, you're a doctor, go. That's not what we do. You gotta learn. Up to Date is the best tool just for that. Again, if your program doesn't have it, you should make them get it for you. All right, app number 2, This is a big one I use actually more often than I care to admit, but it's MD Calc. Now, there are a ton of formulas in medicine. You're not going to remember all of them. Nobody expects you to remember all of them. If you're a cardiologist, you should probably know off the top of your head all of the cardiology ones. If you're a nephrologist, you should probably know off the top of your head all the nephrology ones. If you are an intern, you should probably know like one or two. Wells criteria, Lights criteria. But if you don't, that's okay. Not a problem. I personally don't care. But if you need to figure it out, throw it in MD Calc. For example, if your patient has an acute kidney injury, you need to figure out if it's pre-renal, intrinsic, post-renal, type in the lab values, you get an answer. Now, you need to know what to do with the answer. You have to know how to interpret the results. Med school. But you can put in all the lab values, all of the scores, whatever you need to, and get an answer, and then you can apply that answer to your patient care. All right, app number 3, Journal Club. Not everybody loves reading papers. I do, but not everybody does. I get it. It's okay. Whenever you're on a consult rotation, or even a general rotation for that matter, somebody's going to bring up a giant landmark trial, and they're going to want you to know more about it. But who wants to read 75 pages of medical literature? Okay, that I don't want to do. And I don't think many other people do either. So, Journal Club. What it does is it takes all of these landmark trials and organizes it for you. Huge, right? So, instead of having to read through every agonizing detail and all of these giant studies, it gives you a more bullet-pointed approach. Here's why we did the study. Here's our methods. Here are our results. Here's what we think we can apply this to. And if you want to know more, here's a link to the actual article so you can go see what's going on. It's going to come up. I use it at least monthly. You're going to use it. Even if it sits on your phone and doesn't do anything for 3, 4, 5 months at a time, it's still super convenient when you actually need it. Download it. All right, I would be remiss if I didn't include something that was not medical. Now, it's my firm belief that you can't take care of anybody if you fail to take care of yourself. Residency is hard. Intern year is the hardest. Take care of yourself. Make sure you get enough sleep. Make sure your mind is where it needs to be. Now, you can talk about all the exercise apps and you can go for all the runs and yada, yada, yada. What I want to talk about is an app called Calm. I actually use this every night. I had a terrible time sleeping. I shored up my sleep hygiene as best as humanly possible, and I still had a really hard time getting to bed. Because my mind was always going 100 miles an hour. It's not true for everybody. It's true for some of us, though. So for me personally, what the Calm app has done is, yes, I'm 32 years old, and it tells me sleep stories. You might think I'm a little weird for that. I don't care. It puts me to bed. They have a ton of stuff, and sleep stories is not the only thing. They help you with meditation. They teach you why certain things are important, like sleep and meditation, and how to go about doing these things. If you're interested, you can learn about the physiology of sleep, the biochemistry regarding sleep. It's got a lot of stuff. It helps with all of the things mental health, and I think these days with residency and the amount of pressure that we put on ourselves and the amount of pressure that others put on us and the vast amount of information that we think we're just supposed to know right when we get to residency, and as we get through it, it gets overwhelming at times. And oh, by the way, you may not be that familiar with people dying next to you. You may not be that familiar with codes happening. You may not be familiar with something that really shakes you up, and you need a way to get out of it. You need a way to focus on you and make sure you're ready for the next day so that you can go back and take care of the people that actually need the help. But you can't do that if you're in a rough spot. So I like the Calm app. I think it's huge. It certainly helped me sleep. Some people like, things like Headspace, or I'm sure there's 1,000 of those too. Calm is the one I use. You don't have to use that one, but find something that will help you out. All right, guys, to wrap up, everybody has their phones next to them at pretty much all times, right? So 4 things you're going to need. 1, up to date. You're going to use it almost daily for your first couple of months of residency, and maybe more. Probably more. Get it, use it, love it. You're gonna need it, frankly. Number 2, MD Calc, super convenient. Punch in a bunch of numbers and get the information you need, then apply it to your patients. 3, Journal Club boils down all those giant randomized control trials, landmark trials into bite-sized pieces so you can absorb the information and get a feel for what they actually did with the option of going and reading it again. And 4, Calm, do something to help you. Do something to help your mind. It's tough out there. It really is. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you got something out of it. If it gave you any value at all, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. If I missed any of the apps that you like using, write them down and tell me why. Tell me why you like using them. Maybe I just missed it. Maybe I haven't heard of it. Maybe I don't like them. I don't know. But let me know. What did I miss? Give me a holler. And interns, again, welcome. Please ask any and all of us anything you need. We're here for you guys. See you next video.